did we end? Let's just start with 8,
8? Okay.
because that looks like it's a good place.
Oh yeah, we talk about verse 8.
We already did that one?
I think so, but we can just go over a little bit. Well, good morning. We're here. We're back with you again. This day is a beautiful day outside. I'm enjoying. I really enjoying the weather because it's beautiful. It's. I think we having overage. How do you say that? Yeah. The weather is a little higher than usually.
The temperature?
Yeah, the temperature. Yeah, temperature. Yeah, that's a better word. Well, welcome back, and we're very blessed to share with you the book of Joshua. I'm here with Lorna Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, and my name is Gabriel Rodriguez. We're here to share with you the Word of God. And we're going to keep looking into the book of Joshua. We're going to start in verse number 8.
8.
Do you mind?
Yep, I'll start reading. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
And how important it was for Joshua to keep the law of God in his mind, to keep meditating on that. We can apply it to us also, no?
That's right, because that is, it says, thou shalt make thy way prosperous if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
So God blesses you if you follow his word and his law. And if you don't, then you aren't going down the right road. Satan's got a hold of them.
Yeah, because it's very important, because we need to, if we meditate, if we keep the Word of God in our mind, in our ways, if we're, on the way, on our work, on our jobs, in our, in our lives, in our family life, and everywhere, we're going to keep those laws, we're going to walk in His laws, in His commandments, and we're going to have peace.
Yes.
We're going to have peace, and we're going to make better decisions also.
That's right.
That's the way make us prosperous, because we're going to make much better decisions that we did before.
Well, God can bless you then.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not following God, He can't bless you.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue to verse number 9.
Have not I commanded thee? Be strong, and be of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. What a beautiful promise.
Mm-hmm. How easily sometimes it is for us to be dismayed. Sometimes when things are not working well in our lives, when prayer is not, we don't have an answer to our prayers sooner than we expected, how easily is that we get dismayed?
Well, I have learned throughout the years to not let that trouble me so much, because God knows what's best. And so if I pray for something and I really want it, and I pray and He doesn't answer my prayer, then I recognize that that's not God's plan. It's either not for my best good, or down the road He will do that. And so I have learned to just wait a while and let God be in charge. And it gives you peace. You don't have to get all stressed. You just know that He's there and He'll take care of it in His time, in the way He wants. Now, if you wanted some kind of healing, it's either right now or down the road a ways and you'll be healed, or You just have to wait till you're on the earth made new, and then you'll be healed.
Yeah. Okay.
One way or the other, God will do it.
Yeah.
You know, if we're faithful and trusting Him.
And he's saying here, do
Yeah.
not, be dull, do not dismay,
Right.
do not be discouraged. You need to keep fighting this. How you say that?
We have to keep
Yeah.
faithful.
Yeah, we need to keep faithful, but we need to keep, this life is not an easy life,
No.
and we need to keep fighting for our families, fighting for our jobs sometimes, in the right sense, not like you go and fight with people, but you need to keep yourself strong through all those waves. And the best, and he's saying you need to trust me, but it's not just when you trust him, we also need to walk in his ways.
That's right.
Because many times I think, like Christians, like honest Christians, sometimes we understand that we need to trust God even if we're not walking in his laws. And we expect to be prosper. And that doesn't work like that.
No, if we're not following His laws, He can't bless us. He can't help us because we're not choosing Him. If we choose not to follow His law, we are actually choosing self and Satan.
That's a good point because
there's only two.
We're trying to do things by our own.
That's right.
Yeah, not because we are really trusting him.
No.
Okay, let's keep going. Verse number 10.
Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the host and command the people, saying, Prepare you victuals, for within 3 days shall you pass over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you to possess it. Now this is written in King James language, and that was back in the 1600s, and so they have different words that we don't use anymore. But victuals means food.
Okay.
Prepare you food.
Prepare your food.
And because he says in 3 days you're going to go over this Jordan, which is the river, to possess the land. So he wants them to get their food all ready.
I think we can apply this to our families, because I was telling in the other study just right before this one that, like men, we have a spiritual responsibility before God to prepare our families on the spiritual way. And if there's not a man in the house, well, the woman will need to take charge of that, because we know there's many homes there is not a man in the house. There's just a woman,
That's
a
right.
hard worker woman. Then, so I think we can apply this one to, we need to take the leadership, the spiritual leadership in our homes, and tell our family, prepare your spiritual food. Prepare yourselves. Let's go and prepare and read the Bible and pray. Pray together also like a family, and because we're going to pass the Jordan, we're going for a battle. We're going to conquer the land of Canaan. What do you think?
Yeah, that's
We can
true.
apply that, or
Right. You put it into a spiritual aspect of spiritual food instead of literal food.
Yeah.
And that's fine because we need all the spiritual food we can get a hold of, which is the Bible is our spiritual food.
and we can apply it to physical food also, because it's very important. And we were talking last night. We were in a friend's house, very dear friends of us, and we actually were talking about the food they were giving, to dogs and food to the people, and how the food is so processed that there's many chemicals in the food that is not
Right.
is making some harm on many things that is harming to our bodies.
That's right.
We also need to prepare or try to prepare as much we can good food for ourselves and for our families, because if
Right.
that will help to for us to be more healthy.
That's right.
You know?
That's
So
right.
we can find, it's very interesting how we can find some lessons
Yes.
in
Right.
each verse. So let's keep going then.
Verse 12, and to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh spake Joshua, saying, Remember the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, saying, The Lord your God hath given you rest, and hath given you this land.
Without putting a feet on the land yet.
Oh, that's right.
Yet. That's amazing. I was talking about faith. How Abraham has had faith, and his faith was counted by righteousness before the Lord. How important is to believe God?
Yes. If we don't believe God, we're lost. That He's our whole life. He's our creator, and Jesus is our redeemer. I mean, we have nothing apart from God and Jesus, His Son.
Yeah.
That's all what gives a meaning to life.
And here is saying, remember the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord,
That's right.
commanded you, saying,
That's right.
just remember what he said. And we know that Moses was like a symbol of Christ also. Is the word antitype? That's
The type.
a
He's
type.
the type.
The type and antitype.
Yeah.
He was the type of Christ, and it's very important that understand that for me that the Word of God has promises based on facts also. Like the Lord, want our faith to be stronger, but He don't leave us just like just believe in me. That's it.
Yeah.
He actually show us on our way how He's working in our lives.
That's right. We'll go on to
14.
14. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side Jordan, but you shall pass before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them.
I think, can I make a comment?
You bet.
God is taking care not just for me. It's also taking care of my family when I decide to follow Him.
That's right.
Because He knows I will teach my family to follow Him.
Right.
And He is taking care of everyone, even the animals.
Right.
But there's something else very important I can see here is how He's telling the men they're going to be on the other side of Jordan to go and help the other ones, the brethren, And I think there's very important for me to say that we're not supposed to work in the work of God by ourselves.
No.
We're supposed to work together,
That's right.
support each other for the work, for the gospel to be actually, spread to the world.
Right.
And sometimes when we're trying to work by ourselves, it becomes so isolated and maybe become selfish. I don't know. What do you think?
No. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's we need to help the other people. We need
Right.
to sometimes we have brethren. We always probably have some brethren that are stronger than us, but also we have brethren that are weak than us.
Right.
And we
You
need
talking physically or spiritually?
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Yeah. And we need to support our brethren. We need to, help
Right.
them to grow. And even if there are other brethren that are in a project that is, we need to support them also,
Right.
to push them.
I'll read 15. Until the Lord have given your brethren rest, as He has given you, and they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God giveth them. then you shall return from the land of your possession and enjoy it. Return unto the land of your possession and enjoy it, which Moses, the Lord's servant, gave you on this side Jordan toward the sun rising.
And when they're going to have rest until the bread, until all the land is conquered.
Right.
That means we don't have time to spiritually rest until the second coming of Lord Jesus Christ.
Right.
Because we need to keep just working and helping our brethren and just keep doing the work until He came back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't have time to rest now.
That's right. Verse 16. And they and they answered Joshua, saying, all that you commandest us, we will do, and whithersoever thou sendest us, we will go. And that was good. We'll just do what you say. They were pledging their allegiance to Him.
And that's what we need to say to Christ, If you say this, we will do it.
That's right.
And we don't need to say, well, let me think about it, let me ask my family maybe. No.
We'll just do it.
If Jesus is saying, this is the way I would like you to do this, I command you to go and preach the gospel, let's do it. Let's work for God. Let's just keep fighting that the faith, the battle of faith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I say it right, but that's the idea.
Verse 17. According as we hearkened unto Moses in all things, so will we hearken unto thee. Only the Lord thy God be with thee, as He was with Moses. So that was the condition. God needed to be with him as He was with Moses, and then they were going to follow Him. They would help Him. They would
And that's the way we need to stay.
Yeah.
We need to stay with God. Just close to Him. Close to Him and everything. Not, like Sarai and Abraham, when they decide to have a baby from the lady from Agar. Yeah. They make their own decision. They did not pray God for that decision. They just make a decision.
They didn't actually trust God to do what He was going to do.
And that's the word. We need to trust Him.
That's right. So, verse 18. Whosoever he be that doth rebel against thy commandment, and will not hearken unto thy words in all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of a good courage. So this is how the people were pledging their allegiance to Joshua. If anybody won't listen, put them to death. Boy, I mean, that's tight.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that.
But they have I think we can apply it also in the sense that whoever don't listen to the word of Jesus, whosoever don't accept His sacrifice on the cross, if we don't let Him to clean us with His blood, we're going to eventually be passing through the eternal death.
That's right.
We actually going to be put to death.
That's right.
But we don't want that. We want to live eternally. And if we want to live eternally, we need to listen to Him and let Him to cleanse us with His blood.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're at chapter 2. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, Go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rehab, and lodged there.
That's a very interesting verse.
They were when it says they lodged there, they stayed in her house. She had a room for them, and she let them stay.
That's for many people. I think we might think that was not a good idea to stay in a harlot's house.
No.
And You know, it's very interesting